Ethical decision making is crucial in any case, including that of Terry Sanders. Eflek, Drashti, Pratham, Lorena, and I will explore this through three key ethical frameworks: utilitarianism, which assesses outcomes, deontology, which focuses on duties and moral principles, and virtue ethics, which emphasizes character and integrity. By analyzing this perspective, we will reflect on the ethical implications and lessons from the case. At Littleton Middle School, third-year teacher Terry Sanders is well liked for her energy and enthusiasm. Both students and faculty like her, and like many young professionals, she is active on social media. But last week, her online activity raised some concerns. She tweeted, "Just saw a cop in the school parking lot with the dog. Hope they don't come near my car. Hashtag just saying." Colleagues took that comment and wondered if she might be dealing or selling drugs, which troubled them. On the weekend, she posted on her Instagram a party photo of drinking and smoking. Was it appropriate for her to have posted that? Let's analyze the situation through the utilitarian perspective that will consider the greatest good for the greatest number regarding each stakeholder involved and their consequences. Remember, a stakeholder is a person interested in a matter at the personal level or one with an interest in such matter. Teachers, such as professionals, must understand the consequences of their digital footprint. Terry faces possibly disciplinary actions that could harm her career and reputation. If the respect of parents or students is lost, she will be undermined in her authority in the classroom. On the other hand, if she recognizes the mistakes and takes measures to rectify the situation, for example, managing her privacy settings better and paying closer attention to what she posts, she could learn from her mistake and keep her career intact. Some students might look up to Terry as a role model influence if they can see her status update, which could imply drugs in her car or otherwise questionable behaviors while at a party. It could impact their view of what behaviors are acceptable and create a positive negative perception. Nevertheless, this may be a teachable moment for students if they realize that even adults they admire and respect make mistakes. This, of course, would depend on how the situation is addressed. Hence, this is a learning opportunity for them. Other teachers may feel uncomfortable or required to report her, thus causing tension in the workplace. Those linked up with her on social media may feel apprehensive about scrutinizing their online activities. However, this could create a larger discussion on the responsible use of social media, which might bring more clarity regarding professional boundaries among faculty. The school's reputation could deteriorate if the parents, other administrators, or community members perceive Terry's postings as unprofessional or unethical. Trust in the faculty and administration could be also undermined. In the event of an investigation or disciplinary action resulting from her actions, this may impact educational priorities. In this case, there is no direct benefit and no clear positive impact on the school regarding these posts. While Terry has the right to personal expression, her public role as a teacher means her actions affect others. The tweet and Instagram post may seem innocuous, but the potential harm lost of students' respect, parental distrust, and school scrutiny outweighs any personal benefit. From an utilitarian perspective, the responsible use of social media creates the greatest good for all: trust, professionalism, and a positive learning environment. Next, Lorena will take the floor to present the deontology analysis of the Terry Sanders case. She will examine the ethical framework and its implication in this context.
Thank you, Maria. Hello, everyone. Thank you for your attention. So now I will explain the dentology analysis. But what's mean dentology? Dentology ethics focuses on the following of the moral rules, duties, and principles. In the next slide, I will explain the duties of the terrorist actions. Terrorist action violate professional and ethical duties that educators are bound by, regardless of the consequences. In this presentation, we analyze three of these duties. The first one is the duty of professionalism. The second one is the duty of care students. And the last one is the duty of school values. In the first one, the teachers have a duty to maintain a professional imaging and behavior both inside and outside the classroom. And the posting of social media in a way that blurs professional boundaries could be seen a violation of this duty, is especially if these posts raise concerns about the teacher judgment, actions, or professional habits. In the second one, the teacher also have a duty to act in a way that protect student interest and contribute positively to their development. If the terry social media activity creates an environment of uncertainty or leads to negative distractions, this could be considered a fail of her duty to the students. In the last one, the duty of school values, the teacher are expected to complete and comply, the policies of value set by the school, including ethical guidelines for professional behavior. If the school has specific rules regarding social media use, there may be violate those policies by posting this content that could be seen unprofessional or damaging to the school reputation. From the deontological perspective, even if terrorist action and the terrorist pose has positively effects in some areas, for example, connecting with her student because she had a good relationship with her students. But the fact that they may violate professional standards or ethical guidelines will be make them morally wrong. So she must be think first in the consequences of her actions because she has the duty of maintain the professionalism and comply the school's value. This is so important.
So, thank you, Lorena. And I'm Drasti, and I will talk about Terry Sanders and the important qualities teachers should have. We'll look at her enthusiasm, responsibility, integrity, judgment, and the boundaries to understand how they affect her role as a teacher. So Terry is full of energy in the classroom, and that's great. Her enthusiasm helps students stay engaged and excited to learn. But being a teacher also means being responsible. What she says on social media could have sent the wrong message to students. So teachers need to be careful about what they post because their actions can affect how students see them. So, teachers must show integrity, which means acting in a way that sets a good example. Posting about personal events online, like parties, without thinking about how it looks can be a mistake. Teachers also need to keep clear boundaries with students, especially on social media, to stay professional. Terry is without a doubt a passionate teacher, but she needs to be more careful. A good teacher balances excitement with professionalism. Their behavior, both in and out of classroom, affects their reputation. So it's important to be responsible, make good choices, and set the right example for student. So now over to Affleck. Thank you.
Hello, everybody, and thank you, Drashti, for explaining it in patient. And here I'm going to explain about the little middle school teacher and her behavior in good and bad perspective. And her name is Terry Sandner. And the first slide is telling the positive things about her, that she's always being a motivated teacher in the class. So the uh, students are able to stay very positive in the class, and it creates a positive environment as well. And since she's in social media, she knows what is happening around the places, and she can also educate her students accordingly. And the next slide is going to tell that what are the conflicts or the problems which is being faced as a teacher being in social media. So this is, yeah, as a when it comes to professionalism, a teacher is being always followed by the students and their colleagues as well. So I agree, totally agree that posting their own personal stuffs in social media is really acceptable, but we should also need to make sure that students are also watching us, because we are being a role model as a teacher to the students and colleagues as well. It is not only students is seeing, the students parents are also seeing the things which is being posted in the social media. So the parents also might lose the trust in the student, because yes, trust in the teachers, because their kids is being totally relying on the teacher. And another problem is another problem is that the teachers should post in the way that she's going to be taken as the role model or the main content when she, even if it is something personal to her, posting her pub or nightclub or regarding a cop, it is all okay. But if it is in a negative term, even the student is going to believe that these are all the things which is happening around the place if it has been posted in social media. To And yes, to conclude, as a teacher, being in social media will also be very helpful for the teacher to know how the environment works, and the teacher can really teach the students accordingly. And from the other side of the coin, the teacher also should make sure that what she's posting is really ethical for the students and the people who are really taking the teacher as their role model. So I would conclude saying that when we are in like a professional job like teaching, we have to be always cautious on what we are displaying on social media. So this can be changed by a teacher.
The potential impacts on the school community, it can lead to a loss of trust as well as respect, which is going to disrupt the teaching environment on a large scale for the organization. It can lead to a reputational damage across the general public, and there could also be a lot of legal as well as ethical problems where the stakeholders may be heavily affected by such problems. The responses for the school, they can release a public statement directing towards the people or the stakeholders who were affected by this unethical act. They can open an investigation with the aid of a law enforcement agency, and they can also impose penalties and fines on those people who continuously violate the social media or the school ethical policies in general. Improvements that can be made to the social media policies, they should be laid clear, concise, and to the point. And also there should be an ongoing training program which should be mandatory provided to the staff in order to ensure that they're kept up to date with any changes that has been made to the social media policies or any ethical policies in general. As for reflections on similar scenarios, the institution can work on being proactive rather than being reactive, and which way it can work on gaining trust of its stakeholders at a much greater pace. And for those activities which may be unethical but not related to affecting the social media policies of the school, It should be dealt in a separate process, and the teacher should not be falsely penalized in such cases.